Well, it's the bucket.
Welcome to Book It, a wrestling podcast for the fans by the fans, where we book and revisit your favorite wrestling storylines. I'm your commissioner, Lil X Fudge, and today we are here with your GMs, Damone D Money Allen.
Hello, Governor.
And by the way, that was a nasty ass pre-intro. Seek God, the bad guy, Kenny.
Oh yeah.
Oh, it just keeps getting worse. And then the 12th return of Hi-Fi Mike.
Once you pop, can't stop.
Ooh, he's about to try some new Pringles on air, and I hear that there are some consequences for D Money's show tonight hinging upon it.
So I bought the everything bagel ones. They were pretty mid. But I'm gonna try street taco.
What?
Yeah, I knew, but I had to find out.
That was
you know what
trash.
I mean? I also got the other one was cheese, the Philly cheesesteak. I already feel like I'm gonna hate those because they're gonna taste too much like provolone.
That'll probably hit.
So I went with street taco because you have a better chance of them being good. And if they suck,
yeah, because lime on a chip should be pretty safe. So let us know. Are you about to have the first chip now?
Yeah, I'll do it. No, I'll do it when he does his first rating.
Okay, perfect.
I
hate
so. Speaking of ratings, we are in the midst of the Book It verse. And if you're tuning into this podcast for the first time or the first time in a while, and you're not too familiar with the Book It verse, you're going to need to go on back through our catalog on Spotify, YouTube, whatever, and at least go to the beginning of this Book It verse, which is the fourth one. If you want to go all the way back, you can, but that's for the real fans. Fake fans, you can start at number 4. We'll forgive you. But today,
I'll never forgive you.
Real fans will get that reference. People will go back and listen to Book of Verse 3. Great storyline, by the way. Wonder who wrote it. Continuing, we are in the midst of Book of Verse 4, and today will be D Money's second show. So, D Money, why don't you tell us a little bit about what's happening here? I hear it's going to be some shit tonight.
Yeah, it's gonna be some shit. I don't know if it's good shit or bad shit, but it's gonna be some shit. So, the name of my company is Pro Wrestling Renaissance. And tonight we present the pay-per-view Shipwrecked. So it's live from a cruise ship off the coast of Miami, Florida. So the ring is set up in the middle of the ring, kind of a la the Jericho Cruise, which I've heard John's been on quite a few times.
Did I mention I've been on the Jericho Cruise twice?
Twice, yeah. So Matt Striker and Joey Styles welcome the fans in attendance and those watching at home. And the first match of the night is for the Cruiserweight Championship. So it's to go back. So for the first week, it's announced that there will be a fatal 4-way to determine who will challenge Sammy Guevara for the Cruiserweight Championship at Shipwrecked. The competitors are the recently unsuspended Kota Ibushi, because if you remember, Kota Ibushi got suspended previously for some anti-American sentiments and sentiments in some tweets.
Heinous tweets.
Heinous tweets.
I don't follow.
Juventud Guerrera, Sin Cara, and Ultimo Dragon. So it's a back and forth match, and it looks like Ultimo Dragon is about to win with a Cancun tornado when the lights go out. A debuting Great Muta is in the ring, and he spits poison mist into the eyes of Ultimo. Ibushi slides in the ring and follows it up with a Golden Star Bomb, which is his finisher, a sit-out power bomb for the win. Ibushi hugs Muta, who raises Kota's arm. The screen cuts to a worried Paul Heyman in Sammy's locker room watching the match. As he's busy partying in the background with his friends. Paul tries to get Sammy's attention, but he tells him to relax and enjoy the party. So it's been a while. So Paul Heyman's the manager for Sammy Guevara. So the following week, Kota Ibushi and Great Muta. It's been a while. The following week, Kota Ibushi and Great Muta are in the ring with Matt Striker. Striker asked Kota about winning the Fatal 4-Way last week with help from Great Muta. Kota says, I grew up idolizing the great Muda, and I am honored to have him by my side. And then Striker says, well, what about your opponent, the Spanish god, Sammy Guevara, who is the longest reigning champion in cruiserweight history? Sammy is a great champion, but he's unfocused, undisciplined, like you Americans. So I must destroy him. I will become a new champion. Stryker then asked Kota about the anti-American tweets that he shared that got him suspended. Kota and Muda, they like step closer to him, like get right in his face. And Kota says, sorry, me no speak English. Kota smirks, or Stryker says, come on, man. Kota, you 2 seconds ago were just speaking English. Kota smirks, and then Muda spits green mist into Stryker's eyes, and the two walk away. Strikers is replaced on commentary by Jake the Snake while he gets treatment for his eyes. So later in the night, we see Paul Heyman pacing back and forth as Sammy pulls in a brand new Bugatti wearing shades. Paul runs over and says, I've been waiting for you all night. We need to talk about Shipwrecked. Kota and Muda, they're together. Sammy says, whoa, Paul. You don't need to worry about any of that. It's just another match. I am the Spanish god. I'm going to win like I always do. Paul says, this is different. Kota is different. And now he's got that maniac running around with him. We need to strategize right now. Paul, like I said, Kota Ibushi, he's just a man. I am a god. Hakuna Matata, Paul. Now go park Sarah and grab me a Ray's energy drink. I'm going to go get ready for my match tonight where I win like I always do. He then throws his keys at Paul and walks away as we see Paul shaking his head. Later, Sammy has a match against Suicide, which is back and forth, but Sammy wins with the GTH to go to hell. After the match, he has Paul get in the ring and put the title around his waist as we see Kota and Muda in the back watching. So the next week, it's announced on Twitter that Sammy and Paul will be guests on the Snake Pit with Jake Roberts. Paul Heyman comes to the ring first. Ladies and gentlemen, I am the personal advisor to the longest reigning cruiserweight champion in PWR history, the Spanish god, Sammy Guevara. Sammy comes out wearing a mink coat. Jake welcomes them both to the Snake Pit. When now, Sammy, you are the champion right now, but at Shipwreck, you're going up against what the Snake thinks is your most dangerous opponent, Kota Ibushi. Whoa, Jake. Can I call you Jake? I'm going to call you Jake. I'm dangerous. I'm the champion for a reason. I've dominated this division, not him. And I'm starting to get a teensy bit annoyed with anyone talking about this guy like he's special. I'm the champ. And like always, I'll walk in as champion and walk out just the same. Sorry.
That was hilarious.
It's almost like you should have a laundry room to record in.
They would just break in there.
No,
yeah,
but
plus it's hot as hell in there. I'd be dying.
Them kids whooping his ass.
She ran by and put the L up.
That whole family versus him right now is like them and the dog is 5-star. I'm giving that a 5-star.
Sorry
Book
guys.
that match, please.
Oh, I want you to know that these Pringles, real quick, awful.
Sorry.
Oh, you are cooked.
I'm cooked.
I thought you were saving that chip till the fucking ratings.
I was gonna wait till he rated, but
they're so bad.
I decided it's a pork flavored Pringle.
Yeah.
That's what
Gross.
it is. It's a barbecue. Actually, like, not even barbecue. It's definitely not. It's like a fake taco pork.
That's gross.
Awful. It's bad.
I'll pass
anyway,
the order.
so I'm gonna go back. So I'm dangerous. I'm the champ for a reason. I've dominated this division, not him. And I'm starting to get a teensy bit annoyed with everyone talking about this guy like he's special. I'm the champ, and like always, I'll walk in as champ and walk out just the same. Jake says, I don't know about that, young man. Kota is different. He's focused, unlike you. I see you partying and drinking while he's out there training his ass off, and now he has that psychopath Great Muda with him. Let me tell you something, kid. Me and Muda go way back, and that man ain't right. And if he's mentoring Kota, you're in big trouble. So I'd listen to Paulie over there. The camera then cuts to Paul with a look of worry in his face. Paul says, Sammy, with all due respect, and you know how great I think you are, I agree with Mr. Roberts. Kota Ibushi is different. He dominated over in Japan, and now with that lunatic by his side, we got to be 120% focused. And you're honestly haven't been lately. Sammy stands up and says, Paul, are you doubting me? You're saying I can't beat this guy? I'm Sammy freaking Guevara, the longest reigning champ in this company's history, the GOAT of this division. So I don't care what you say right now or this washed up old drug addict here has to say. Jake says, watch your mouth, young man, before I show you what this old man can still beat your ass from pillar to post. Sammy gets in Jake's face and says, I'm not taking advice from a broken down junkie. So why don't you get out of my ring, Jake? Jake smirks and acts like he's going to walk away, but then he kicks Sammy in the gut and hits the DDT as Paul looks shocked. It's announced that next week will be Jake the Snake versus Sammy in a non-title match. So the next week, Sammy is in his locker room getting ready for Jake. Paul says, I feel like this is a bad idea this close to Shipwrecked. Jake isn't going to take it easy on you, and you need to be 100% focused again or 100% against Kota. Sammy gives Paul a dismissive look. Jake is just an old washed up bum. I'm going to go out there and expose him. Then on Saturday, I'm going to expose Kota too. He then gets up and goes to the ring without Paul. Sammy and Jake have a back and forth contest when the ref gets knocked down. Jake hits the DDT and goes for the pin, but there's no ref. Kota Ibushi and Muda make their way to the ring and surround the ring and get on the apron. Jake swings at them and they drop off the apron. Sammy gets back up and takes advantage, hits a low blow, then a GTH. The ref comes to and counts to 3. Kota and Muda slide into the ring. Sammy gets ready to attack, but Kota just smiles and points to the Tron, where we see Paul Heyman laid out in Sammy's locker room. Sammy slides out of the ring and goes to check on Heyman. Later on, we see Paul being loaded up into an ambulance as Sammy goes with him. We see Kota, Great Muda, and a debuting Kenta appear as the ambulance drives away. So for the match itself, so it's announced that Paul Heyman suffered a concussion and an injured neck, but it's not sure if he'll be able to be there to manage Sammy for the match. So Kota, Muda, and Kenta come out first, all wearing white with red accents. Sammy comes out next comes out next wearing purple leopard print. Sammy walks halfway up the ramp, stops, then points to the entrance ramp, and Paul Heyman comes out with a neck brace on his neck, and then joins Sammy in his corner. So for the spot, so not doing bell to bell, so it's just spots. When the bell rings, Sammy goes right after Kota, backing him into the corner with rights and lefts. He then runs into the opposite corner and hits a stinger splash. Sammy goes for a super kick. Kota catches his foot, spins Sammy, and hits a bridging German suplex. Sammy kicks out at 2. Kota gets Sammy on the top rope and hits a Frankensteiner, followed by a springboard moonsault for a quick 2. Kota hits an exploder suplex into the corner, then a hesitation drop kick in the corner. Sammy ducks under a clothesline. He then hits a super kick, then a back suplex, then he transitions into a falling DDT. Kota goes for a power bomb, but Sammy counters it into a poison Rana for a 2 count. Kota rolls out of the ring. Sammy runs and hits a springboard shooting star plancha on Kota. Kota and Sammy are exchanging punches. Kota gets the advantage and hits a knee bat, which is the jumping bicycle kick. Sammy counters with a Pele kick, and both men are down. Sammy goes for a springboard, but Kota distracts the ref, and Kenta hits the ropes, and it sends Sammy crashing to the outside. Kota gets up, climbs the top rope, waits for Sammy to get up, and hits the Bermuda Triangle, which is a diving moonsault to the outside. Kota hits a Tiger Driver, then the standing shooting star press. Kota manages to kick out at 2. Kota then hits a Bumaye, then goes to the top rope and hits a Phoenix Splash, which is the corkscrew 450. But Sammy manages to get his foot on the bottom rope. Sammy goes for a springboard into a Hurricane Rana, but Kota counters it and locks in a Texas Cloverleaf. Kota goes for the Golden Star Bomb, but Sammy manages to escape, hits a super kick, then a Cody Cutter for a 2 count. So Sammy grabs Kota's arms and stomps his face repeatedly. He then hits a GTH, but Kota manages to kick out right at 2.9, so barely. He then drags Kota to the corner and he hits a shooting star press. 1, 2, but then Paul Heyman pulls the referee out of the ring and smiles evilly. Sammy and everyone in the arena is shocked. Sammy gets up and starts yelling at Paul. He doesn't notice that Kota is up, who turns him around, kicks him in the gut, and hits a spinning Golden Star Bomb, which again is the sit-out power bomb for the pin and the win. Kota Ibushi is now your new Cruiserweight champion. Paul enters the ring. He hugs Muda, Kenta, and then Kota and raises Kota's arm as he stands over a fallen Spanish god, Sammy Guevara.
Okay, I'll start first.
Okay.
I think it was really good, actually. There's a couple problems with it, that's just me nitpicking. So it's not a perfect 5, but I think it's really, really good. So I'm at a 4.5. I like the swerve at the end. Even though I knew it was coming, I still liked it. But it was good.
I agree with Kenny. I liked it overall. It wasn't perfect. I didn't love the Jake Roberts stop along the way. I felt that was a little.
It was kind of just to give them something to do in the middle.
I figured that's what that was.
Bro, Tony Khan that up.
He pulled a Triple H. He pulled a Triple H. Had something to do, beefing with him while you beef another person at the same time. That's what he's doing.
But I will say that I liked it overall. Kota with the "Me no speak English" line was fucking funny. Got his ass. And the right person won. So I'm gonna give you a 4.
Okay, I'll take it.
I also liked it overall. I also didn't think it was perfect. I was not a fan of the Jake Roberts thing.
Okay.
I don't think the right person won. And personally, I don't think the right person won. But I'm not going to hold what I would have written against you.
Okay.
I'm going with 4.5.
Okay.
So my question now is Paul Heyman just trying to get away from Sammy, or is it like I'm joining them starting a faction at this point? Or do we have to wait until next
Technically,
episode?
Next episode would be the real answer, but to tell you, yes, he's starting a group with them, essentially. He's joining them in a group.
Gotcha.
He's sick of
Sammy.
Sammy's bullshit. Okay. So everyone's favorite type of match, women's wrestling.
Hey!
Yay. So for the week 1, we see a recap of the previous vignette of Scarlett smashing her mirror after it reveals to her that Jordynne Grace was the fairest of them all. Then she storms out of her decrepit cabin into the woods. So I can't hear what you said. Ken, you were muted.
Oh no, I was speaking to myself. It's not a decrepit cabin.
So the following week, it's announced that at Shipwreck, Scarlett will face Grace for the women's title. Grace is the women's champion. Grace is interviewed by Julia Hart backstage. Jordan, it was announced that you'll be facing the Wicked Witch Scarlett Bordeaux at Shipwrecked. What are your thoughts on your challenger? Well, Scarlett is a former women's champion for a reason. Excuse me. And since she lost that title, she's completely snapped. But I'm the juggernaut, and no smoke and mirrors are going to stop me from defending this title. So bring everything you got, Scarlett, because the juggernaut will be ready. So later in the night, Jordan is in her locker room working out when someone knocks on the door. It's a delivery woman who drops off an edible arrangement. The note just says, "From your secret admirer." Jordan says, "That's kind of weird, but I do love fruit," and she just starts picking at it a little bit, eating it. So later in the night, Jordan teams with the what?
So not the edible arrangement.
Yeah, the edible arrangement.
About to pull a Snow White. She about to faint.
So the notes are So later in the night, Jordan teams with women's TV champion Rhea Ripley against the Beautiful People. Grace and Rhea win the match after Rhea hits a riptide on Sky after Grace spears Love. The two are celebrating when Grace starts grabbing at her stomach and then collapses. Medical personnel come to the ring and take her to the hospital.
I called it. I knew it.
So the next week, GM Freddie Blassie is in the ring and announces that Grace is currently in a coma and as a result will not be able to defend the title at Shipwrecked. Therefore, unfortunately, the title will need to be vacated. So out comes Scarlett, who's wearing an all black outfit. Mr. Blassie, you're just the man I wanted to see. I'm so sorry about what happened to Jordan, but as they say, the show must go on. So since I was the number one contender, it's only right that you award me the women's championship, and I graciously accept it. And Jordan, when you wake up, well, if you wake up, I'll consider giving you a chance to reclaim it. Freddie says, if only it was that simple. Before you interrupted, I was going to say the doctors suspect Jordan was poisoned and we've launched a full-scale investigation. That's just awful. Who would want to hurt Jordan? We must find out who did this. Freddie looks suspiciously at Scarlett. As I was saying, the title is now vacant, but here in PWR, we don't just hand out titles. But you are right. You were the number one contender, so you will get your chance to become champion at Shipwrecked against this woman. Shayna Baszler's music hits, and she makes her way to the ring, and the two stand off as they go to commercial break. So on the go-home show, Freddie announces that Scarlett and Shayna will pick each other's poison for the night. Scarlett pits Shayna against Ronda Rousey, and Shayna has Scarlett face Piper Niven. Shayna manages to lock in a rear naked choke on Ronda and makes her tap out. After the match, she yells into the camera that she's the next women's champion. Piper is dominating Scarlett until Scarlett avoids a stinger splash, but the ref gets taken out. Scarlett crawls to the other corner where she put her hand mirror and she grabs it. Piper doesn't notice this and goes to grab it. Scarlett smashes the mirror across her face, sending Piper to her knees, and then she locks in the Warlock Sleeper, which is a dragon sleeper. Shout out to John for the name. Piper taps out as the ref comes to, and Scarlett is victorious. She refuses to let go of the hold, though, until Shayna comes running down to the ring. Scarlett lets go and slides out of the ring smiling and does like the belt signal that she's going to win the title as she backs her way up the ramp. So the match itself, so Shayna comes out wearing all black, or wearing black and yellow top with top and bottom with red gloves. Out next is Scarlett Bordeaux, and she's wearing a Maleficent inspired gear. So for the spot, so the bell rings and Shayna immediately locks in a flying armbar. Scarlett is forced to scramble and barely gets her foot on the rope to break the hold. Shayna hits a hammerlock DDT and goes for the pin. Scarlett kicks out. Scarlett hits a drop kick, then a rolling thunder for a 2 count. Scarlett hits a snapmare, then a soccer kick to the chest of Shayna. Scarlett hits a crossbody, but Shayna rolls through and hits a throwaway slam. Shayna begins to work the left arm of Scarlett. She hits a series of arm drags and a leg drop to the arm. She then twists Scarlett's arm, followed by the arm stomp, the little stomp thing she does. Scarlett rolls out of the ring and screams out in pain. Shayna goes after Scarlett on the outside. Scarlett manages to hit a drop toe hold, sending Shayna face first into the ring steps. She then hits Shayna against the step, or puts her against the steps, and then hits a stink face. Scarlett hits a Meteora, then a lion salt on Shayna and goes for the pin. Shayna kicks out at 2. Shayna reverses an Irish whip and throws Scarlett into the corner. Then hits a splash, and then when she turns around, she hits a Chaos Theory for a 2 count. Scarlett locks in a standing rear naked choke. Scarlett drives Shayna back first into the corner, but the referee, Jessica, gets squashed in the process. Shayna checks on the ref while Scarlett crawls over to the other corner and grabs her mirror. Shayna doesn't see this and goes to grab Scarlett again, but Scarlett smashes the mirror in her face. She then hits the Scarlett Ladder, which is a belly to back pile driver. The ref crawls over and counts 1, 2, 3. Your winner and new women's champion, Scarlett Bordeaux.
I'm trying to remember, no, he was champion. So you had 2 titles being changed this week.
We're back to back.
Yeah, I was about to say back to back too. That's crazy. Yeah, you did take a risk on that one. I like this story. I could tell you fell asleep while Disney Plus was playing. But yeah, I think the last story was a little better. But I did like this. I'm gonna go with 3.75. That's where I'm at with it.
I'll take it.
I'll tell you where
I
I'm at.
like
Hold
the
on.
story
Go ahead.
okay. I was not in love with the match.
Okay.
Like I feel like, how do I put it? If I saw this match on a card in real life, I'd want to vomit. And you made it okay.
I will say I had to fluff up some of Scarlett's moveset, but
Her moveset is basic as fuck.
But
it is very
you
basic.
made it okay, and that's an accomplishment. But it's still not a match I want to see again. With the match being and the story being solid, 1 thumb up. I'm gonna give this 3.25.
Okay, I'll take it.
All right. So here's where I'm at with it.
It's either really bad or good. I can't
Yeah, I was
tell.
gonna say, Mike.
So
You never know.
I went into this just like these Pringles.
Oh, God.
Hope for the best. And then I bit into it.
To the
I
pork
was
chip.
like, man, that didn't seem right. But unlike these Pringles, you were able to turn it around. You get a 5 from me.
Thank you, sir.
Oh, wow.
I will take it. Thank you.
I
That
liked
was a
it.
roller
I thought
coaster
it
of
was
emotions.
it was the right amount of corny. I am here for it.
Mike loved corny.
Unlike you, I like corny.
Oh, is it
It's
Mike
supposed to
loved-
be like, yeah, it literally is like.
You write just as corny as me, but you don't like when you don't do it.
I'm a hypocrite. I don't know what to tell you.
You are very much a hypocrite. But unlike you,
been
I'm going
telling
to give
us
it what it
for
deserves.
years.
Speaking of which, I'm gonna be a hypocrite here. So this is one where I need to separate the segment. So the 2 segments connect, but they're not back to back.
Damn.
So
Hey,
I'm
that's
pulling the mic
crazy.
here.
I just gonna light your ass up for that.
I don't care. Fuck
He can
Travis.
he's not here. He can talk
Not
all the
here.
shit he wants in his comments
Hey,
in a
fuck
week.
you, Travis. Fuck you. I know you're gonna listen on
He
Friday.
could come, but he
Big
doesn't.
Yeah.
back ass. Fuck you.
So Freddie Blassie is in his office.
Also, he's not writing the show.
Hello, you pencil neck geeks. Due to travel issues with Hail Del Vikingo, unfortunately, the scheduled tag team match between the champions Dan's Theory, which is Daniel Garcia and Austin Theory, and the challengers Absolute Vikings, which is El Hijo Del Vikingo and Ricky Starks, is postponed. We apologize to anyone who is looking forward to that match, but we still have an action-packed night ahead.
Hey, before you go on,
Yes.
Dance Theory made me sick.
That's a nasty name. That is a nasty name.
I
It
take
is
back
a
everything I
nasty
just said about
tactic.
Travis.
That
Fuck
is
Wait till you
bro.
find out wait till you find out the origin story.
Wait,
It's
wait.
not.
I'm
It's
back
not
on
on this
Travis
episode
vibe.
though. The origin story isn't
It's
on this
Austin Theory
episode.
and who?
Austin Theory and Daniel Garcia.
That is nasty. That's already a nasty tag team. And that name is even worse.
It's not supposed to be good.
Dance Theory. It's crazy.
Dance Theory.
That sounds like a bad romantic comedy.
It sounds like a college class.
Dance Theory.
So that segment leads into another segment later on in the show. You'll know when it comes. So we move on to the next match. So 2 weeks after the last pay-per-view on Thursday Night Trauma, which is the weekly, we see.
Wait, your weekly show's name is Trauma?
Yeah.
Of fucking course, that's your weekly show name.
I want to say John's watching.
Yeah, I'm tuned into that shit every week. I got me a subscription to that.
He's waiting for an award.
Fuck.
So we see Father James Mitchell and Mil Muertes inside of a Spanish cathedral. We see Muertes training inside a ring, destroying his sparring partner. On the walls, we see about 20 different luchador masks. The camera pans to Mitchell. My monster grows stronger day by day, week by week, mask by mask. As the prophecy foretold, one man would claim all the mask and gain all the power, and my monster is that man. We then see Muertes add Rey Fénix's mask to the collection. We beat the last pay-per-view. James Mitchell says, Rey Fénix, he put up one hell of a fight, but just like the rest of them, he proved to be no match for the man of 1,000 deaths. We then see highlights of the match and Muertes winning and ripping the mask off Fénix. Now, who will be the next victim? Muertes hands James a picture, who then laughs maniacally. Genesis chapter 4, verse 9. Then the Lord said to Cain, where is your brother Abel? I do not know, he replied. Am I my brother's keeper? It looks like we're going to find out if you are your brother's keeper. If you are man enough to avenge your fallen brother, Pentagon Jr. James Mitchell then laughs maniacally as Mil Muertes crushes the picture as the scene fades to black. So the next week, we get an update on Rey Fénix from Joey Styles. He says that Rey has a cracked rib, but otherwise is okay physically, but mentally he's not in a great place now, having lost his mask, which is the most prized possession a luchador has. It means more than championships. In luchador culture, you lose your mask, you lose your identity, your manhood. So I don't know if we've seen the last of Rey Fénix in PWR. Later in the night, Pentagon Jr. is scheduled to have a match against Mike Quackenbush, but before he can get out there, he gets attacked from behind backstage by Muertes. The two men are brawling in the backstage area when security comes out to break it up. Muertes throws one of the security guards into a car windshield and it shatters. Pentagon runs up the hood of another car and dives into Muertes, taking him down and landing punches before more security and wrestlers come out and manage to separate the two. Blassie kicks Muertes and Mitchell out of the arena. And then Pentagon doesn't have a scheduled match just because of all the chaos. So the following week on Trauma, it's announced that at Shipwrecked, it will be Muertes versus Pentagon in a mask versus mask match. We'd get a vignette voiced by Joey Styles, which shows a highlight reel of Pentagon's greatest moments. Pentagon Jr., a multiple-time tag team champion, a former Gift of the Gods champion, Match of the Year winner, and a former world champion, a bona fide first ballot future Hall of Famer, not just in the United States, but in his home country of Mexico. The list of achievements goes on and on. But his greatest achievement, if you ask me, isn't in the ring. It's outside of it. It's being a big brother to Rey Fénix. For anyone who had a little brother growing up, protecting them came with the territory. Pentagon has seen his brother reach heights in this business neither could have dreamed of, growing up in the mean streets of Mexico City. And Pentagon has done a hell of a job protecting his brother inside and outside of the ring. But against Mil Muertes, he wasn't able to. And he's watching his little brother, the kid he helped change his diapers, struggle. So he's vowed revenge on the man who not only took his brother's mask, but his identity, Mil Muertes. But this is no ordinary man. This is a monster. He hasn't been pinned or submitted in over 2 years, and he's been collecting masks up and down the Gulf of Mexico, and now has made his way here to PWR on a mission to complete the fabled Luchador prophecy, managed by the devilishly clever James Mitchell. At Shipwreck, will brotherly love prevail? And then it cuts to family photos of Phoenix and Pentagon together. Or will a prophecy get one step closer to being fulfilled? And then we see the images of the mask collection that Muertes has, and then him standing hauntingly in the shadows, and then him beating down Phoenix. And then it goes to a split screen. Like on one screen, you have the family picture, and then Muertes in the other. So to the match itself, the match starts with both men getting in each other's faces. Pentagon does the Zero Miedo and slaps Muertes. This enrages the man of 1,000 deaths, who punches Pentagon Jr., then Irish whips him and hits a big boot. So again, just spots. So Mil Muertes power bombs Pentagon, then deadlifts him and power bombs him again, then deadlifts him again and goes for another power bomb, but Pentagon counters it into a Hurricane Rana. Pentagon hits a sling blade, then a shotgun drop kick sent Muertes into the corner. Pentagon goes for a splash in the corner, but Muertes catches him and hits a Uranagi. Excuse me. Muertes hits or Irish whips Pentagon and hits a running crossbody. Muertes lands a series of kicks followed by a spinning heel kick. He then hits a diving fist drop and goes for the pin, but Pentagon kicks out. Muertes is on the outside. Pentagon hits a tope con hilo, then throws Muertes back into the ring and hits a Lanza, which is the diving double foot stomp. Pentagon hits a Mexican destroyer, but Muertes doesn't go down. He's still standing. Pentagon then hits a Pentagon driver, which is a pump handles, half Nelson driver. Muertes kicks out at 2. Pentagon goes for a springboard crossbody, but Muertes counters with a cutter. He then clotheslines Pentagon out of the ring and then hits a suicide dive to the outside. Muertes hits the sacrifice, which is like the arm breaker thing. I'm sorry, Pentagon hits the sacrifice. I mixed that up. I wrote that down wrong. Pentagon hits the sacrifice, which is the arm breaker thing. Then a split-legged moonsault. Muertes kicks out at 2. Pentagon then lands a series of knife-edge chops in the corner, then a running elbow splash. Pentagon goes for the fear factor, but Muertes manages to power out of it and hits straight to hell. Pentagon manages to barely kick out. Father James Mitchell holds up the mask of Phoenix and screams for Muertes to finish it. Muertes goes to the corner and signals that it's over. He goes for the Reaper's Trident, which is a spear, but Pentagon counters it into a Mexican destroyer. Muertes barely kicks out. Pentagon signals for the fear factor, but again, Muertes powers out of it, pushes Pentagon across the ring, runs and hits the Reaper's Trident for the 1, 2, 3. After the match, he continues to attack Pentagon and hits a choke slam, and then rips the mask off of Pentagon and holds it overhead as James Mitchell yells into the camera that the end is near. And that's it.
All right. I'm gonna give this $5.
Okay,
I think
thank you.
the video package was super well done and detailed. I like that you found a way to tell a story about international wrestlers without having to rely on too much other lore, and that you built the story without having to have them cut a lot of heavy promos. So I feel like you did good work with that. So
appreciate
take
it.
that $5.
Mike, Kenny.
You get a 5 from me as well.
Thank you,
Same
sir.
reasons for as John. Really good storytelling. I'm here for it.
Thank you.
I really liked it as well. I was lagging really bad there, but yeah, I also gave it a 5. I thought it was really good.
All right. Thank you. Okay, so next part. So we see
I don't
Dan's
like that
theory.
look on your face.
So we see Dan's theory again, which is Daniel Garcia and Austin Theory in their locker rooms packing up their bags since their match got canceled for the night. So in walks Toxic Attractions, JC Jane, and Gigi Dolan. JC says, "Hey fellas, sorry to hear that your match got canceled. We were looking forward to watching you out there. Theory says, "Yeah, it sucks. We were really looking forward to going out there and defending our titles and stealing the show." Garcia says, "Yeah, I was ready to go out there and show off some new dance moves too." Gigi said, or gets really close to Garcia and says, "Well, why don't me and JC help turn those frowns upside down?" as she rubs his chest. Theory says, "Well, what do you have in mind?" JC says, "Now."
It's a 0.5.
JC says, "Now that you don't have a match, we can go out dancing, then maybe go back to our hotel room, and you can help us try out these new toys we just got." Theory says, "What kind of toys?" Hold on. Theory says, "What kind of toys?" JC says, "Well, the type you get at organiclovin.com, and because we use promo code T13, we got 10% off at checkout."
I think he does this every episode. Every episode he presents.
Gigi says, "I hear anyone can use promo code T13 and they get 10% off toys, books, or erotic seminars. So what do you boys say? You show us your moves and we'll show you ours." JC says. Theory and Garcia look at each other and in unison say, "We're in. Let's go." The girls lead the way out of the locker room as both men follow behind, high five, and then dance as the girls look back and laugh. The guys stop and try and play it cool as they all leave together and the scene ends.
I
Okay.
wrote misogynistic player Daniel Bryan, and that is way worse than anything I've written.
Okay.
Bruh, imagine Austin.
It's an
Theory and Daniel
infomercial.
Garcia.
The entire thing's an infomercial.
Bruh, it is.
It is. The whole 2 parts is an infomercial. As far as so that's the end of the 2-part.
Mm-hmm.
It didn't lead to any matches.
No, the match got canceled, remember?
No, but it could have led into another match.
Well, the match got canceled. I'll backtrack. El Hijo I can't use because of the wheel. So I needed to put him in something.
Yeah, but you could have put Dance Theory. You could have put Dance Theory in something else instead of a commercial.
And I don't want a fucking Dance Theory match, Mike.
And we're selling.
You know what? The match would have been better than this. And I've been very positive. You're getting my 0.0.
Hater.
Organiclovin.com
is the sponsor. Don't hate.
Hey, listen. This shit is so funny.
It's not supposed to be serious. It's dumb.
No, because I keep picturing Austin Theory and Daniel Garcia having these tours. Are you ready to do this? I'm like, no.
You don't get to see that part.
It's the fact that you split it up into 2 parts. I feel like if you just did a commercial, that'd be one thing, but you split it into 2 parts.
So that's exactly it.
There needed to be space. There needed to be space.
No, there didn't.
When I wanted there to be space from when Freddie Blassie says the match is canceled to them getting ready to leave.
You didn't need all that.
You didn't
need all that. You made us wait. You made us wait for this.
Yes.
I'm not gonna give you a 0 just because of how funny it was.
It's supposed to be funny. It's supposed to be goofy. It's supposed to be dumb.
John, I'll let you go. I'm still deciding my story, but I'm just over here weak because you split it in 2 parts. That's the funniest part. That you split it in 2 parts.
I've got some good news for you. I'm gonna be the lover on this. It's not getting a 5.
Okay, I'm fine.
But I have a few things I like about it, and I can tell you what you could have done to make it a 5.
Okay.
So, one, having like them just, like, let's go and do the sex. Like, yeah, that's a little dumb, right? Of course, it's gonna get.
Let's go do the sex.
Well, they were gonna go
that-
dancing first.
Oh yeah.
you gotta make sure it's in there. We're dancing first.
But,
Yeah.
I love the twist into the ad. I think that was actually really fucking funny. And then I like that they're dancing as they walk away. I think that's really funny. The only thing that could have made this be a 5 for me is if they had done like the 80s like movie thing where it's like, you want to do this? Yeah. And then just like a big high five or like jumped up in the air or some shit, like the screen pause.
They did the high five, but not the screen pause.
We did that at BOA already.
They did
just
do
wanna-
the screen pause, but they did the high five.
I need to take this opportunity real quick to apologize for Travis for thinking he was going to be the hater on this. It was me. I'm the hater.
No, Travis is probably dropping his 0
I mean,
too.
Travis probably
Yeah,
will
Travis
too,
probably
and if he
dropping
does,
his 0.
then
I know Travis hates commercials. So any sort of commercial you do, you're getting
It's the
low grade.
honestly, if it was one part, you would not have gotten a 0 from me. It's it. It being split up in 2 parts and me thinking something cool is gonna happen, and then it went to an
Something
ad.
cool did.
And then you
That's
turn
the
into a
funniest
fucking
part.
Prime commercial. Like that's what would have like no.
Bro, getting
This
a
is
bill,
better
like,
than-
getting
This is
a-
better than Prime.
I'm gonna give this 350.
you know
I'll
what?
take it.
You know what? I'm gonna give you more points because you literally edged us. That's what you did. You edged us. for
There's
this.
no edging. There's no payoff.
The
No,
payoff
that
is-
room.
Somebody's getting paid off. Dan
We're
Sirius
not
is
getting paid off as the
You
audience.
can if you go to organicloving.com, use promo code T13. 10% off.
I never wanted to use my 0. I want you to know this, and I feel awful using it.
Because you
To be
almost
fair, I
got
said this was one of those going to be either a 0 or a decent or a good score. I knew this
You
was
were
a
right.
risk.
I'm gonna give you more points literally because you edged us. So that's why I'm giving. That was clever. You probably didn't realize you did this, but you did. So I'm gonna give you a 2. That's what I'm
I'll
gonna give
take
you
it.
a straight 2. Because that shit was funny. And the fact you split it into 2 parts. You get a 2, you get a 1 for each part. That's what you get.
I'm pretty
I'll
sure you
take
gave
it.
me 0.5 for splitting up an actual story into multiple parts. So
No, I don't think it was because you split
Bro,
it into a story. I
split
just
up
didn't
a-
like the story.
Splitting
Yeah,
up an
and
ad
this-
is crazy. Split up an ad is crazy.
Well, no, I
Imagine-
needed Blasty. I needed
ad
Blasty
with
to announce the
dance
match not
theory.
happening,
Yeah,
and then the ad.
Bro,
you
Bro, imagine mesothelioma commercial pops up and you get the first half and then they're all happy. Then the second half is all side effects. That's all. That's what this was.
Anyway, we're gonna move on. So, I said this part. This was when I said in the group chat. There was this segment I was doing that was super dumb. This was that part.
We know. You didn't have to tell us that.
That's fine.
I knew the moment you
Um,
started that second part.
Yeah, no, I just didn't expect it to do that.
Shipwrecked,
Organic.
shipwrecked, shipwrecked.
We see Freddie Blassie again sitting in his office. Indy's Big Show walks in. Mr. Blassie, you got a minute? Blassie looks up from his paperwork and says, "Make it snappy." Big Show says, "Since the tag match is canceled, that means there's an empty spot on the card, right? I want to defend the 305 Live Championship tonight. It's a pay-per-view and I deserve to be on it." Blassie then puts down his paperwork. "Doesn't matter who it is, right?" Big Show says, "Doesn't matter." Blassie dials his phone and he has like an old, he's an old man. So he's like one of those old desk phones and tells the person, "Reinforce the ring. We have a 305 Live match right here, right now." So Big Show smiles and walks out. In the arena, we see workers scramble to quickly reinforce the ring. Big Show comes out first, wearing all black, one strap singlet. Big Show wear. The lights go out, and on the screen we see Indy's Brock Lesnar as Super Beast by Rob Zombie plays. Out comes Indy's Brock Lesnar, who makes his way to the ring. The two men get nose to nose as the referee, Big John McCarthy, separates the two giants, while in commentary, Stryker talks about their history and that they have bad blood going all the way back to the Indies. So for the spots, the two men lock up into a test of strength. Big Show is able to overpower Brock and send him flying across the ring. Big Show Irish whips Brock, then hits a standing drop kick. He goes for the pin, but Brock kicks out at 1. Big Show hits a series of chops in the corner, then throws down Brock and hits a middle rope leg drop for a 2 count. Brock hits a German suplex and a running senton for a 2 count. Big Show counters an Irish whips, then bounces off the ropes and hits a pounce on Brock, sending him flying across the ring. Brock hits a belly to the belly on Big Show. Show rolls out of the ring. Brock catches steam and hits a suicide dive to the outside. Big Show spears Brock through the barricade. Brock hits the 3 amigos on Big Show, then goes to the top rope and he hits a frog splash. Big Show kicks out. Big Show hits the showstopper, which is like the spinning headlock leg drop. Brock kicks out and catches Big Show in an ankle lock and then grapevines. Big Show manages to get to the bottom rope and Brock holds on for the 4 count. Let's go so he doesn't get DQ. Brock goes for the F5, but Big Show manages to escape and grabs him by the throat for the choke slam. Brock chops his arm, kicks him in the gut, and hits a fireman's carry sit-out power slam. Big Show manages to kick out at 2. Big Show hits a spinning heel kick. He then deadlifts Brock by the throat and hits a choke slam. He goes for the pin, but Brock manages to get a small package for a close 2 count. Brock then hits a desperation F5. He drapes his arm over Big Show, but he manages to kick out. Big Show runs up to the top rope and he hits a world's largest moonsault. Brock gets his foot on the bottom rope to break the pin. Big Show gets Irish whipped into the corner, but hits a whisper in the wind. Big Show then goes for an atomic bomb, which is a swanton bomb, but Brock gets his knees up at the last moment. Brock makes his way to his feet. He then picks up Big Show and hits another F5. He then drags Big Show to the corner and he hits a Brock Buster press, which is a shooting star press, for the 1, 2, 3. The winner and new 305 Live champion, Brock Lesnar. As Brock is celebrating, Big Show gets up, grabs him, and turns him. He then extends his hand. Brock looks at it, looks at the fans, and he shakes Brock's hand. Brock keeps celebrating as Big Show makes his way to the back.
All right. As the introducer of Indy's Big Show to Bookitverse, I feel like I should go first. And I'm gonna say this was okay. Because like the story, it's there, I guess. It's whatever. And then the match, it was an impromptu match, which nobody might. I mean, I don't mind those. Other people do. I've seen the ratings on my show. But I feel like the movesets, particularly Big Show's, could have been a bit more indie. I don't know. I had Brock do a freaking. Well, I'm saying Big Show.
Suicide. Big Show. Well, he did the moons. He did a whisper in the wind.
I don't know. We need more of those indie filler moves. Not enough super kicks. Not enough sling blades.
I should have needed I needed a Canadian destroyer.
Not a Canadian destroyer. Not a kneeless pile driver on the apron. So pretty good. Not perfect. Okay. I'm gonna give this 375.
I'll take it.
I don't think there should have been another title change. I don't think there should have been another title change. I felt very unsatisfied by this.
Okay.
It's the chip all over again.
This probably is the chip. This is what I expected when I heard 305 Live and Indy's Big Show. I expected to really like it. And then by the end, I was like, all right, well, we're through with it. I don't hate it, but it happened.
Okay.
I got to go 3.
Okay, I'll take it.
And I'm sorry, I don't want to be rating this low.
No, it's not even that low. I'm not gonna lie. This one I kind of toiled with on who to have win. Like I went back and forth on whether to have Big Show retain.
I love how Mike's
or
apologizing for a 3 when he gave him a 0.
Or right.
Yeah, and I feel awful for it. It's just residual. Like I never wanted to use it.
He said, "Why'd you make me do this?"
Oh,
I'll never forgive you. I
afraid of
waver.
retaliation.
I there won't be. I wavered on this one on who to have win. I'm not gonna lie.
So,
I went back and forth.
John, what did you give it?
I gave it 375.
375. Okay. Yeah,
Just
I'm not
needed
gonna lie.
more bullshit, in my opinion.
I was with Mike. I gave it a 3 as well. I think it was kind of just, it was there.
Okay.
I understand you had Big Show showing out, but yeah, I still gave it a 3, like overall.
Yeah, there wasn't a lot to it, so I can live with that. So, after winning the first blood match against Kevin Thorne, Abraham Lincoln has a one-on-one match against Shane Douglas in a 5-star classic. Lincoln wins when he locks in the Lincoln log, which is a sharpshooter, forcing Shane to tap. As Lincoln bows to the crowd in appreciation for a standing ovation, the lights dim and he's drowned in a bloodbath. On the Tron, Gangrel and the rest of the Coven appear. Gangrel says, "This isn't over." As the segment and laughs as the segment ends. So the following week, Abraham Lincoln is being interviewed by Maria backstage. "Hello, ladies and gentlemen. I had hoped that by vanquishing the one known as Kevin Thorne, I would no longer have to deal with that group of heathens, the Coven. But I see my attempt to move on was premature." As he says this, Edge and Christian walk up. Edge grabs Lincoln by the collar and says, "We have a message from the Dark Lord Gangrel." Christian says, "He will expose you in your lies, but only when he is ready." They hiss. Hiss is important there. I even wrote it in there. Lincoln slaps away Edge's hand and says, "Unhand me, you scoundrel. Tell Gangrel that since he has quarreled with me, he should meet me in the ring like a man and we can exchange fisticuffs. Or is he too white-livered and sends his man to do his dirty work?" Edge and Christian get mad and attack and beat down Lincoln until Shane Douglas comes out and the two scurry away. Lincoln and Douglas versus Edge and Christian is announced for later that night. Shane and Lincoln are backstage being interviewed by Maria. "Shane, last week you came to the rescue to help Abe when he was being attacked by the Coven's Edge and Christian. Why?" I can't do a Shane. I can't do voices at all. So, "Well, you see, Maria, me and Abe might not be friends or pals, but I respect him. We had a match and he beat me fair and square. He was the better man that night. That I can respect. What I can't respect is these men running around cosplaying like Interview with the Vampire and ganging up on people. When the franchise wants to take someone out, he looks them dead in the eyes and kicks their ass. So tonight, that's exactly what me and Abe are going to do to those pretty boys." Lincoln, any thoughts? Maria asks. "Firstly, I want to thank Shane for last week. Secondly, you two goons assaulted me last week when I wasn't expecting it, but this week we shall have a proper matchup. If me and Shane shall emerge victorious, then maybe Gangrel will meet me in the ring and we can settle our squabble like men." Maria thanks them and they head to the ring. It's a back and forth tag team match. Lincoln sets up in the corner to hit Christian with a John Wilkes boot when Edge uses a steel chair leading to a DQ. Edge and Christian viciously attack both men with the chair busting them open. Edge holds Lincoln's head up and he makes him watch as Christian puts Shane's head onto a chair and hits 3 vicious concertos as Lincoln tries to break free, but he can't. Edge finally lets go and he and Christian leave the ring as Lincoln crawls over to him and the EMTs race down to provide medical attention to Shane. So on the go-home show, Lincoln is backstage with Maria. His head has a bandage on it from the previous week. Maria asks if he has any sort of update on Shane. "Yes, I do. It is with great sorrow that I must inform you in the PWR audience that Shane suffered a severe concussion which caused a series of mini strokes. He's doing much better now, but he has a long road to recovery. But I do wish to address the 2 men who caused this unfortunate turn of events last week. Edge, and Christian. I formally challenge you to a tag team match at Shipwrecked. Me and you, my partner versus you two hooligans. Maria says, but who's your partner? I am currently not at liberty to divulge that information, as I need to make sure he is not harmed by the coven before the match. But I will say it is quite the coup, my dear. Maria thanks him and cuts back to Joey Styles and Stryker. Later, we get a video from Christian and Edge from the coven's lair. Edge says, Abe, you really are something. Last week, we destroyed you, then made you watch us take out Shane Douglas, and your response is the challenges to a match at Shipwrecked. You really are a glutton for punishment. Christian then says, we accept, but let us up the ante. Let's make it coven rules. No DQ, no count out, falls count anywhere. And it doesn't matter who your partner is, because we are brothers, best friends, bound by blood. And that Shipwrecked, will be more than happy to spill yours. And whoever your mystery partners is, their blood too, in honor of our Dark Lord Gangrel. Gangrel then appears from the shadows. These two are going to destroy you physically, Abraham. Then I'll finish the job mentally when I choose to expose your dirty little secret to the world. But in due time. I'm having too much fun right now. We'll see you Saturday.
Don't tell me you got slaves.
No, that's not his dirty little secret. It goes to commercial. Then when it returns to commentary, announces that it's been made official. It will be Abraham Lincoln and a mystery partner versus Edge and Christian in a coven rules match. So the match itself, Edge and Christian are out first. They rise from the ashes as the Brood theme song plays, and they're carrying goblets. So like the full Brood entrance. Up next is Abraham Lincoln wearing a black and white singlet. He stands at the bottom of the ramp as the lights dim and we hear, wrestling has more than one royal family. Adrenaline in my soul. Something, Cody Rhodes.
Let's go.
Out comes the American Nightmare, Cody Rhodes, the team with Abraham Lincoln. So Lincoln and Cody both slide in the ring, and the two teams start the brawl right away. Cody gets the upper hand on Edge, while Lincoln gets the upper hand on Christian. They hit stereo drop kicks that send their opponents outside the ring. Again, these are just spots, not about the bell. Cody looks at Lincoln, who nods his head, and they hit stereo suicide dives to the outside. Edge counters an Irish whip and sends Lincoln into the steps. Christian rakes the eyes of Cody and sends him into the barricade, then a running hip check. Edge and Christian throw Lincoln into the ring and hit a double flapjack. Edge hits an Edge-O-Matic, and then Christian hits a diving elbow drop on Lincoln for a 2 count. Edge and Christian are taking turns stomping Lincoln in the corner when Cody gets in the ring and throws Edge out of the ring. He then hits Christian with a series of rights, then a bionic elbow. Lincoln then hits a running leg drop for a 2 count. Edge and Christian have the numbers advantage and hit a sidewalk slam, falling reverse DDT combo on Cody. Lincoln breaks up the pin. Christian hits a tornado DDT on Cody for a quick 2 count. Lincoln hits a flatliner on the outside of Edge. Christian is on the outside and Cody gears up for a suicide dive, but Christian throws a chair at him and hits him in midair. Edge hits a downward spiral through the announce table on Lincoln. Cody is both busted open from the chair. Christian goes for the unprettier, but Edge escapes and hits a disaster kick. Christian manages to kick out at 2. Edge and Lincoln are fighting in the crowd. Edge low blows Lincoln and hits an impaler DDT. Lincoln kicks out at 2. Christian and Cody fight on the outside of the ring. Christian goes for a DDT on the chair, but Cody counters and hits a tornado DDT of his own. Christian is now busted open. Cody hits an Alabama slam on the barricade on Edge. Christian and Lincoln are up by the top of the stage, and they're trading punches. Lincoln is reeling, and Christian hits a spear off the stage through tables. But Lincoln manages to barely kick out. Lincoln locks in the Lincoln log on Edge, who almost taps, but Christian returns and smashes one of the goblets across his head. He then spears Lincoln and goes for the pin. 1, 2. Cody breaks up the pin with a moonsault out of nowhere. Edge and Christian put Cody through a table on the outside with a 3D. Edge and Christian set up Lincoln for a concerto, but before they can, Cody hits a disaster kick to Cody. A disaster kick to Edge, then a Cody cutter to Christian. Lincoln sets up in the corner as Edge gets up and he hits a John Wilkes boot as Cody hits a crossroads on Christian. Instead of immediately going for the pin, they set up Edge and Christian on 2 separate chairs, their heads on the 2 separate chairs. They both grab a chair and they hit dual concertos. Then throw the chairs down. Lincoln pins Christian for the 1, 2, 3. Lincoln and Cody Rhodes are victorious.
Oh my God, Lincoln Hogan wins again.
So
It's been 2 matches.
That's what I feel. Is it only been 2? I feel like it's been
Yes,
3.
this is only his second match.
Second pay-per-view.
This is second pay-per-view.
He needs some adversity here.
It's been 2 matches.
All the vampires.
His adversity is getting shot in the head in the Civil War.
But he did get shot in the head in the Civil War. He's alive.
I said
clearly.
and the Civil War. And the Civil War.
He's getting to it.
No, that's Travis's.
You still got to deal. You still got to deal with all the bullshit with his secret getting exposed by Gangrel.
Give this $5. What are we doing here?
Give this $5.
I mean, it's still $5, but at some point, if Lincoln keeps winning, it's not going to be $5 anymore. He's got to start.
He's got to win. He's got to win at least till the very end.
He's got to lose before he can win. He has to lose before he ultimately wins. There has to be something that he's actually down against. Otherwise, him winning means nothing.
He got beat up. He came in there with a Band-Aid. He had a Band-Aid on for a fortnight.
Jamal's got a free ticket to a 0 with Dance Theory and a free ticket to a 5 with Lincoln.
Hey, don't tell me Theory don't tell me Theory and Garcia in ring wouldn't be fired.
Oh,
no.
I hate the name Dance Theory so much. It gave me a terminal illness.
Kenny, what did you score it?
I gave it a 5 as well.
Okay, so all 5s.
I had no problem with it, honestly.
Okay.
I'm gonna say he got beat up the whole way through. We know he's gonna win. I just want him to win till Gangrel, and then maybe he can lose then, or he can stake him. He can actually stake him, and I'll be fine. we gotta go crazy at the end of that. I want to see all kind of stuff coming.
I got some shit that I want to do.
I'm ready for it. You know, I'm
okay. So to the main event. So it's announced that there will be an official championship ceremony for Gunther at the end of this week of that week's trauma. Excuse me. So throughout the night, we see Ludwig, Vici, and Doug Williams, who's in Imperium, getting everything prepared backstage, with Ludwig being the unofficial leader of the 3. What?
I said, ew, I forgot he was in there.
With Doug Williams?
Yeah, I forgot he was in there.
Yeah, you don't like Doug Williams? Doug Williams was good.
It's the weird fit.
He's British.
It still look weird.
Well, he's European, so that's what I'm going for. He's European. So they make their way to the ring where there is a championship belt on the pedestal. The ring ropes are changed to red or black, red, and yellow for the German flag, and there's bottles of wine and champagne that's being held by waitresses. Ladies and gentlemen, rise and pay respect to your new world champion, the ring general, Gunther. The lights dim as Gunther comes out wearing a suit with the spotlight on him as he makes his way to the ring. Gunther gets in the ring as the 3 other men of Imperium stand at attention. Gunther then nods, then Ludwig hands Gunther the mic. On Saturday, I restored the honor of the world championship when I defeated that swashbuckling fool, Paul Burchill. I wish I could say he was a great champion and a worthy competitor, but that would be a lie. Paul Burchill brought nothing but dishonor and disgrace to this championship, this company, and this industry. We have restored honor, respect to PWR, and we have no intention of ever letting it fall into the depths of despair ever again. We will bring back sanctity to the mat that the greats like Lou Thez, William Regal, Fit Finlay, Bret Hart left their blood, sweat, tears on for this great sport. No man will ever disrespect that again under my watch. Gunther hands the mic back to Ludwig, who steps forward. Ladies and gentlemen, we ask, no, we demand that every one of you, single one of you again, stand up and honor your ring general, your world champion, Gunther. As he says this, the crowd is booing. It is my great honor to formally present to you the World Heavyweight Championship that you and only you so rightfully deserve. Ludwig grabs the title off the pedestal, and as he's about to put the title on Gunther, Paul Burchill's music hits. Ludwig, he puts the title back on the pedestal as Gunther directs them to leave the ring and cut Burchill off at the top of the ramp. They all go to do this, but Burchill isn't coming out. As this is happening and Imperium is focused on the entrance, Burchill rappels down and he steals the championship belt. When Imperium sees this on the Tron, they rush back into the ring, but before they can grab him or the title, Burchill waves and then he pulls back up and goes back up, leaving with the title. Gunther in rage starts throwing everything in the ring and is just pissed as the show ends. So the next week, we see Gunther and Imperium storm into Blassie's office. Mr. Blassie, Ludwig says Mr. Blassie, this is Ludwig talking at first, said, we respect you as the general manager, and you've always done right by us, but we demand harsh discipline on that thief, Paul Burchill. He stole the championship belt like a common street rat. He isn't the champion, Gunther is. And he's lucky in his merciful brilliance. Gunther hasn't pressed charges for grand theft. Blassie says, I've already taken care of it. He calls his secretary and who brings the world title into the office and returns it to Gunther. Gunther says, thank you for returning my title, but to the matter of Burchill's punishment. How long is he suspended for? Blassie says, well, he's not. Gunther yells, what do you mean he's not? He stole my title. Blassie says, like I said, I handled it. If I suspended him, you'd never see that title again. It'd probably end up in some shitty pawn shop. So I did my job and I got the belt back, but I had to make a deal with him. As the former champion, he is entitled to a rematch. So if he can beat whichever member of Imperium you choose, he not only gets his rematch at Shipwrecked, but he gets to pick the match type or the match stipulation. But if he loses, he forfeits his rematch clause entirely. So, who's it going to be? Gunther smirks and says, I choose my second in command, Ludwig Kaiser. Later, we see Ludwig in the locker room getting ready for his match when Gunther comes in and he's watching him like stretching and stuff. Ludwig stops and says, I won't let you down, sir. Gunther says, I know you won't, because if you do, there will be dire consequences. Ludwig is about to make his way out to the ring with Williams and Vici when Gunther stops them. He must do it alone. Ludwig at first is stunned, but then he nods in agreement and goes out alone. So him and Paul have a back and forth contest. Ludwig hits the air raid crash, but Paul manages to kick out at 2. Ludwig, frustrated, starts yelling at the referee. When he turns around, he gets hit with a European uppercut, followed by walk the plank, which is a standing Spanish fly. Burchill wins. The rest of Imperium then come out, and Burchill escapes in the crowd. Gunther helps Ludwig to his feet and says, it's okay, it's okay. He then chops the living hell out of him, followed by a lariat. He orders Williams and Vici to beat him down in German, which they do, as Paul watches in shock. Gunther then picks up Ludwig and powerbombs him 3 times in a row. Gunther goes and stands on the top rope as Williams and Vici wrap a chair around Ludwig's neck. And Gunther points at Burchill, and then he jumps onto the chair. The show ends with medics coming out and placing Ludwig on a backboard. So the following week, as Trauma goes live, we see a video on the Tron of Ludwig Kaiser in a wheelchair wearing a neck brace. Last week, I failed. I failed to beat Paul Burchill. More importantly, I failed the ring general Gunther. And for that, I paid the price. My career. So with great sorrow, due to the injuries I sustained last week, due to all fault being my own for my failure, I formally announced my retirement from professional wrestling. So for one last time, ladies and gentlemen, please rise and pay your respect to the world champion of PWR, the ring general, Gunther. Gunther, Williams, and Vici are in the ring with the spotlight on Gunther. Last week, Ludwig Kaiser had one job, and he failed. Imperium does not accept failure. I do not accept failure. I warned him that if he did not defeat that buffoon, Paul Burchill, there would be dire consequences. I am a man of my word. I did not take pleasure in doing it. But as your ring general, as your champion, it is my responsibility, my duty, my burden to protect this business. And I'll do anything I have to protect it, including ending my best friend's career. And if I'm willing to do that to him, what won't I do to you, Paul? Paul Burchill's music hits and he swings down from the rafter and makes his way to the ring. Arr! Don't worry, fellas. I'm not here to steal the title or anything this time. That was just a means to an end. I hear all this humbug about respect and honor from you, but you're not doing this for the legends of this business, but for yourself. See, the difference between you and me is you pretend you're a stand-up guy, a tight-laced, honorable guy, but you use Imperium to help you win and stay on top. I'm a thief, a scoundrel, a cheater, a liar, a pirate. But I'm honest about the misdeeds I do. That's the difference. And at Shipwrecked, I win back my title and the era of the pirate resumes. But speaking of Shipwreck, last week I earned the right to decide the match type, and I thought about it. We could have a submission match, or an I Quit match, or a last man standing match. Heck, we could just have a good old-fashioned traditional title match. But those are no fun. But then it dawned on me. At Shipwreck, I take you into my world, and I beat you, and I take back what I should have never lost. The PWR world title. And I'll walk the plank match. Gunther and Burchill stare daggers at each other, nose to nose. Gunther raises the title overhead as the show goes to commercial break. So a contract signing is announced for the following week. Imperium comes out first, then Burchill. Stryker has the mic and says, gentlemen, at Shipwreck, you two will go head-to-head for the richest prize in our industry, the PWR Championship, and a walk the plank match. For those unfamiliar with the rules of the match, each of you will board your respective vessel and meet in the middle of the ocean in international waters. The boats will get side by side and connect using a series of wooden boards, aka the plank. The challengers, the challenger and champion will meet in the middle. You two will shake hands, and then at the sound of the horn, the match begins. The only way to win is to throw your opponent overboard into the ocean. Anything goes. No DQ, no holds barred. Now to make the match official, he hands the title to Paul, or not title, he hands the contract to Paul, who is drinking rum with his feet on the table and takes the ballpoint pen, chucks it, and pulls out a fountain pen with a feather top and he signs it. He then slides it over to Gunther. Gunther says, "Is this a joke to you? This is why you don't deserve to be taken seriously. These antics are embarrassing for not only you, but this great sport. I will protect this title from you when I throw you into the Atlantic and end your pathetic existence." He then knocks Paul's legs off the table, and both men stand up and get into each other's face. Doug Williams from behind hits Burchill. Imperium begins to beat him down. Burchill is in the corner, and Gunther goes for a splash, but Burchill moves out of the way. He then lays out Williams and Vici, with stiff punches as Gunther slides out of the ring. He low blows Vici, then picks up Williams, and he hits Walk the Plank through the table, then grabs the title and holds it overhead as the show ends. So to the match itself. So before the main event starts, everyone in the audience is given a snack and a drink of their choice. A replay of the video of the previous week's events is played, and the workers hand these out, and the match is. Yes, sure. You're on a ship, so I'm sure they have some. And as the workers hand these out, and the match is played on the Tron, and there's the different screens and everything, so everyone can see. The match starts with, you see a cinematic shot of a ship sailing full speed through the ocean. The camera pans, and we see the German flag flying overhead. We then see an ominous figure standing at the bow of the ship. As the camera gets closer, we see that it's Gunther. Vici comes over and says, "We're almost there, sir." Gunther turns, nods, and starts to head to the middle of the ship. We then see another ship approaching at full speed, and we see the pirate flag. We see Burchill in the crow's nest, which is like the thing at the very top, looking through a telescope. He closes it, puts it in his pocket, and then he rappels down. The two ships get side by side and are connected using the planks, which are connected by metal hooks. So both men approach the middle of the plank. They stare at each other momentarily. Then Gunther extends his hand. Burchill smirks, spits in his hand, and shakes it as Gunther looks down, disgusted by his opponent, and now he has the chewing tobacco that's now in his hand. They let go, and they wait about 10 seconds, and one of the seamen blow the horn, and the match begins.
Hey, yo.
No,
hey, yo.
I really just wanted to say semen blow.
I did. Gunther immediately hits Burchill with punches and a vicious chop that sends Burchill backwards and retreating back into his ship. So the spots. Gunther delivers a series of left and rights to Burchill, then leans him against the side of the boat and delivers a thunderous chop. Gunther tries to drag Burchill towards the plank, but Burchill fights him off, fights out of his grasp and hits an enziguri. Burchill hits a swinging net breaker, followed by a standing moonsault. Burchill tries to drag Gunther, but he overpowers him, and he hits belly to belly, then a brain buster. Gunther begins to work the surgically repaired lower back of Burchill with stomps to the back and a backbreaker, then 5 chops to the back. Burchill climbs on top of a barrel and hits a flying drop kick. Burchill chops Gunther, then hits a Northern Lights suplex. Gunther Irish whips Burchill into a set of barrels on the deck, sending those barrels flying. Gunther hits a shotgun drop kick, then uses rope that he finds on the ship to choke Burchill. So, ships have rope everywhere. Finds rope, chokes Burchill with it. Gunther picks up Burchill and power bombs him through one of the barrels, causing the rum in it to go everywhere. So he power bombs it, destroys it, rum's everywhere. Burchill rolls over onto his stomach as Gunther is gloating. Some of the rum gets into Burchill's mouth, and we see him start to kind of lap it up, drink it. Gunther picks up Burchill by the hair and gets ready to take him to the plank, but Burchill gets a certain burst of energy from the rum. Gunther tries to punch him, but he no-sells it. He then chops him as hard as he can, but with no effect. He then goes for another chop, but Burchill blocks it, then delivers a series of punches and kicks of his own until Gunther stumbles back across the plank into his own boat. Burchill kicks Gunther in the gut and hits a curb stomp. He tries to drag Gunther, but Williams and Vici show up and attack him. They begin to beat him down when out of nowhere, the team of Shane, Sabre, and Space Monkey, a.k.a. the Space Pirates, swing over and even the odds. The Space Pirates, this is a real team, by the way. The Space Pirates get the upper hand and manage to throw Vici and Williams overboard. They tip their hats to Burchill and repel back out of sight. Gunther takes advantage of the distraction, though, and hits a burning lariat. He then takes Burchill over to the ship's wheel. He puts Burchill's arm in it and locks in an armbar as Burchill screams out in pain. Gunther sees a huge water bucket on the boat, so like one of those big like trolley things with the water in them. He pulls Burchill over by the hair towards it, and he dunks his head in it, essentially drowning him. And then yells, "You're not worthy to be champion." As he brings his head up, and then he dunks him again. As Burchill, we see Burchill gasping for air. Gunther goes to powerbomb Burchill, but Burchill fights out. While on his shoulders with punches, he pulls the telescope out of his pocket. And he hits Gunther with it, forcing Gunther to drop him. He then hits walk the plank, which is the standing Spanish fly. Both men are down. Burchill gets up first and waits for Gunther to lift his head, and he hits another curb stomp. He then begins to drag Gunther towards the plank. Burchill gets a lifeless Gunther on the plank and is about to roll him overboard when a hooded figure comes out of nowhere and attacks Burchill from behind. The figure beats down Burchill and hits a mad dog driver on Burchill, then helps up Gunther. Gunther gets up, pats the man on the back. He then grabs Burchill and power bombs him on the plank. He then takes his lifeless body, picks him up by the hair, and throws him into the ocean. The seaman blows the horn, and the winner of the match, of the walk the plank match, and still PWR world champion, is the ring general Gunther. The masked man and Gunther make their way back into Gunther's boat. The masked man then pulls off his mask, and it's revealed to be Burchill's former tag team partner, Nick Aldis, who raises Gunther's arm as they sail away.
I'm gonna go first real quick.
Yes.
This was a 5, like almost to the very end. It's still gonna get a good score, but I feel like you should have gone with the happy ending on this one. I don't think the Aldis turn or him being added to Gunner's group
Gooners.
I don't think that is worth having Burchill lose this match. So I disagree with the ending. Everything else leading up to it, fucking gas. This match, super creative. I love like the barrels of rum and shit, that it wasn't just like throwing them off the ship. Like you did a lot of other cool stuff that I appreciated to keep up like the gimmickiness of this show. I don't want to dock you too bad for the ending. I'm going to give this a 450.
Okay, I'll take it.
I'm about the same as John.
450?
450, yeah.
Okay, I'll take it.
All right, I'm gonna be the hater of this one.
I figured someone's gonna be a hater.
It was a little too gimmicky, especially for a world championship match. It didn't feel like a world title match. It felt like a silly. Like I get we're doing the whole shipwreck thing, and I get all that.
It's essentially like a giant scaffold match, except instead of scaffolds, it's ships.
Yeah, I think, and I'm gonna say with this match, I just feel like it just doesn't feel like a world heavyweight title match. It just feels like a very silly match for the world title. I get we had the reveal. The reveal was cool. I think the reveal saved it. The build-up was cool until we got to walk the plank. I forgot we were even doing that. I remember you told us. I remember you told us that, and I was like, "Oh shit." But
well, to be fair, you guys. So I gave you guys the option. So originally, it was supposed to be an X marks the spot match, or buried treasure. Sorry, it was between buried treasure, walk the plank, and then I forgot what the other options were. You guys picked walk the plank.
Hey,
it's very
don't be
similar.
reminded, Kenny. I had a world title match with a cliffhanger with an exploding bounce house. We'd be doing this.
I didn't like that either. Didn't like that either. So yeah, I gotta be the hater on this one.
Okay.
This is all for the match. I think the match was cool. The spots was cool on that. And then
I even had a power up there for you.
You did. I noticed. I noticed the power up. Shout out to Sandman. He started it. He got crucified.
He started it. Then he walked so Finn Balor, then Paul Burchill could walk.
Exactly.
Plank,
They
in
all
fact.
walked.
So they all walk.
The plank, yes. He could walk the plank.
I'm going with the solid 2 for this one.
Oh wow.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh, damn! You really a hater on that.
Yeah, it was like
It's
I said,
okay.
it was,
It's I knew it was a risky match. You would
It's a
have
very
both
risky match.
match. It's risky.
especially for a world championship match. Like I said, it's very silly. Especially when you got your big, dangerous world champion. You're like, oh, what's Gunther gonna do now? And he's like fighting on a plank. It's silly.
Or you could rephrase it, say, "Kill a pirate."
Yeah. Gotta kill the pirate, yeah.
Yeah,
Commit murder is what he's gonna do.
on his murder on his show. But yeah, that's what
they eventually get him.
They send
They
out
also
the dinghy for him.
they get the rest of Imperium out of the water too.
And
They
D-Money,
eventually get him.
is there any more twists and turns, or is that the end of our show today?
Nope, that was it. That was the end of Shipwrecked.
Well, what a great show. I love that shit. And I look forward to the direction of your company.
I like most
What a
of it.
good time. And what I really can't wait for is to give y'all the final
Dance
score
Theory.
tune with
It's just 2
fucking
parts.
Travis's input too. I feel like that's gonna be fun.
I like the idea of dance theory. Dance theory is not the problem. I just want to point that out.
No, dance theory is the problem.
No,
Go
dance
ahead.
theory is not the problem.
There's a lot of problems in that. There's a lot of
They
problems.
weren't one of them. It could have been anyone in that.
But D-Money, you've got a wheel to spin, don't you?
I'm about to say, speaking of spinning wheels. Speaking of gears turning.
That wheel.
Yeah, spin
Just-
that
just
wheel.
protect Lincoln at all
buckaroo.
costs.
Big wheel keeps on turning. I don't know what song I'm trying to sing.
All right. I'm scared for you, man.
I can't see it.
You can't see
I
it.
know it's coming up.
No.
All
now.
right.
But I told you guys this show was going to be
Comfortable for you
risky.
guys?
Hey, I
You
love
said
this
risky.
shit.
You didn't say risque.
I'm gonna be the lover on this show. I already know. Especially with Travis. He's gonna eat you alive.
I know.
Oh yeah, Travis is definitely gonna eat you alive.
Oh yeah, I know.
Before you do
I
that,
did a
get
lot
some
of dumb
organic
shit.
What's the over under on Damone getting Travis's 0-2?
Oh, I'm probably on that. I know the exact
That
same
one might
spot.
be it.
In the exact same segment. I know I'm getting the 0.
I'm waiting to hear what he says. Just because the fact it's a 2-part, that's the funniest part.
Yeah, that's gonna be so fucking funny.
He's gonna tell me. He's gonna
We gotta
say
save
fuck
that
you.
message and read it on live.
All right, y'all ready?
Yep.
Yeah, spin that shit.
2
You got
times,
3
right?
spins.
Or
3
3 spins.
spins. 3 spins.
Please don't be racist this time.
Joe Gacy.
Joe Gacy, okay.
I thought it was gonna be Will Ospreay for a second. What is Joe Gacy doing? He missed his flight.
All these motherfuckers. I need to get a new booker, like travel agent, because these people keep missing
Yeah,
flights. This is like
you need a
the
tour bus,
third one in
bro.
a row.
Bam Bam Bigelow. What's he doing? What's Bam Bam
Big
doing?
Mac Bigelow.
He's on a magazine cover. Uh-oh.
Cover. Hey,
So it's
So
gonna be
$1?
50 cents to whoever rates whatever Bam Bam Bigelow's doing next episode.
Big Man's Weekly.
I was gonna say that tattoo magazine.
BBM Weekly.
BBM.
I don't think they call them BBMs.
Ludwig Kaiser.
Ludwig Kaiser. He's already
Oh.
retired.
Oh yeah, you're right.
Oh, yeah, you can't do it. Respin.
Can't do it. Oh,
Oh, no.
fuck.
Oh,
Wow.
no.
No.
Damone.
Oh my
Oh,
god.
no.
Abe Lincoln's about to miss a flight.
If he don't know how
what's
to
gonna
work
happen
the
to
mic.
Abe Lincoln? It's a big one.
Oh, no.
Oh,
this
no.
This is the riskiest spin we've had.
Oh fuck.
Oh, he missed his Uncle Stars. He had
Oh.
somebody die in his family.
Ah!
Fuck. Abraham Lincoln's fucking cousin got the Black Plague or some shit. I don't know what.
He got-
I
he
teach
got caught
history,
with
it's
slaves.
embarrassing. I don't know what diseases were around back then.
Damn.
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 That's crazy.
The Will really hates me.
That was a big one. That's
That
a big
was
one.
probably the
Yeah.
biggest one we've had.
That's a
Yeah,
big
that
is a
hurts.
cataclysmic wheel.
That was
Yeah,
somebody's.
that really hurts.
That was your 5-star ticket too.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
the most meal ticket right
You're-
there.
so
Damn.
next,
I'll be
next
honest. I guess
pay-per-view,
you
won't have it.
guys aren't getting. It's not gonna happen. You guys aren't getting Vampiro versus Abe Lincoln then.
Not next pay-per-view after probably, right?
Well,
Hey, have
That's
Bam
last
Bam Bigelow do a
pay-per-view.
form. Have Bam Bam
Oh, we've
Bigelow do a
got-
form. Fresh
we've
off his
got
photo
two
shoot,
around.
he's like, I got you,
Hey.
Abe Lincoln.
yeah, we have two, so I have to skip
Yeah.
this
Everybody
one. He won't be on this
that
one. And then
listens to this,
the final
Right.
one
pray
is
for
Yeah,
Damone's
probably
drywall.
facing Gangrel.
But
maybe.
you can figure it out. You can do.
Yeah,
two
I'll figure
matches.
it out.
Oh
That's
man,
crazy.
you don't
Make
want to
him
be
a
around
workhorse.
Damone for the
Make him
next
run the
24
gauntlet.
hours.
So what's up?
Yeah, that would hurt.
So he's gonna have to have Abe Lincoln run a gauntlet at the final pay-per-view.
Hey, that's not a bad idea.
Face all the.
Damn, Abe
all
Lincoln.
the
I'm salty.
vampires.
I'm salty about Abe Lincoln.
But
Yeah,
I was
that's
excited to do the Abe Lincoln and Cody Rhodes. He was the partner I really wanted to give him. Like this is going fuck. This is going to hit. Imagine Abe Lincoln, and then all of a sudden, wrestling. More than one
That's
royal
why I popped
family.
for it. I popped for it.
All right. Do we have anything to plug?
Bad guy,
See
you
what they
got a
need.
million shows.
Nah, I'll do mine then. That's fine. Catch me on the Bad Guy Spoken podcast. Catch me on social medias at Bad Guy Spoken. You can catch Unbiased on the same channel. You go to playlist. You see TK up on a little U. You can also see Hood Movie Review, where we just reviewed Dead Presidents. And now we're going to do the movie Hoodlum. So that should be coming up next. So be on the lookout for that. You can also catch Geek in the motherfucking sheets, where we talk about all things nerdy, anime, Marvel, DC, Star Wars, Lord of the Rings. We talk about it all. And you can also catch Not a Real Court. I was about to say Book It, but I'm already on Book It. Not a Real Court, where we debate everything. We debate best fruit. Anything you can think of that we can debate.
Best
The
toy that
only
Dance
thing you
Theory
could-
uses.
The only thing
best-
you could think of was best fruit.
I
Out
must
of
say-
everything.
I couldn't think of one right there, but it's just whatever you can think of. We debate it, we tournament it, we draft it, we do it all in that show.
So what you guys are saying is
They
for
do everything but book it.
next
Yeah.
next pay-per-view, I should do the hotel scene for Dance Theory. That shouldn't be in the
Do
next
it.
pay-per-view.
Dude, we need a payoff. You get an edge this for
Well,
too
I mean, we can't get Abraham Lincoln, so we might as well get the worst show possible.
They're not bad. As long as they're not coming out doing an organic loving match the entire time.
An
Hey.
organic loving match. is
Yeah,
Organic
you
loving
heard
match.
me.
Organic loving match, nothing but dildos underneath the ring.
Hey,
It's a
Wait, I got an
dildo
idea,
slapping
Damone.
match.
traditional Survivor Series match,
Instead of a
organic
bull
loving
rope, it's
versus
a
Ray's energy.
double-sided dildo.
Team Organic Loving versus Team Rays.
Hey, that's not a bad idea for one of these
That wasn't not a
days.
bad
Because
idea.
you did
now.
have Sammy Guevara talk about drinking a Rays, so he could be the
I
captain.
did.
Like, you got to have something to do after losing his
So
title.
nasty.
Dance Theory.
And High Five Mike, tell him
I
about the
don't got a
T13
plug.
website.
You can find all the shows on T13 Media website at t13media.com.
And buy shirts there too.
Yeah,
Well,
buy something.
that's been an episode of Book It. See ya.
Bye.